I may be on a temporary hold with the Fowler car, but that doesn't mean I haven't lost my mojo to work on my layout. Come back after the titles and find out what I've done now. Hey everybody, Anthony Dodge, Model Train Outsider, the American Outsider, a Night of the Rhomboid Table here with a layout update, a small one, and it's not Fowler car related, although I guess you really could say it's kind of related.
This train related video interrupted by a snowstorm that's just getting started. All right, let's get this show going. The lightest area, the deck. All bundled up, ready to start shoveling. About half an hour in, Joyce just came out to help. Already up by the garage. It's already covering back up, but you got to get layers off, otherwise it's just too heavy to move later on. But it's pretty. It's cold. Not fun to drive in, but it's a lot prettier than brown mud and dead grass. Gives everything a little bit more charm there. So I better get back to work before I'm accused of taking an unwarranted break. All right, you can do it there.
All right, 4.5.
4.5 so far. Okay. Those areas where it's clearly deeper with drifting. Just got done with round one, probably 45 minutes or so. Went a little faster, but as you can see already, got another 1/8 of an inch. We just coming back up, we just scraped that, so that's the difference. But we always go down it, do in front of our neighbors on the end of their driveways for them, do ours. I even shovel out into the road just so our cars can get out more readily before they get a chance to get traction. So, but yeah, this has been much cooler at winter time and turn on the winter lights for Christmas. But there it is. Now back to our regular schedule, working on the layout program.
Due to both working on the Fowler car and the bus area, and an accident that happened months ago, a year ago, I forget how long it's been, we were shoving stuff underneath the table here. We had converted my son's old bedroom into a workout room, but then family comes to stay and they need a room, and so we converted it back to a bedroom, and all this stuff that we had been storing in the old bedroom that is now a bedroom again, we had to shove it places. One of the places we shoved it was under the table, and we managed to snag a bunch of wires that messed up a lot of the lighting on the Delmenhorst bus station and platforms. So since I had everything pulled up and moved because of the Fowler car work, I thought, well, while I'm working under there for other things, why not get to the lighting? And so I won't waste any more time. I'll just show you quickly what I was doing and explain, and then I'll come back and wrap some of it up and maybe explain some things that I don't show in the video.
Well, this looks wrong. Like a giant step backwards after all the effort to get the Fowler car system going in around the bus depot. The bus depot's gone. Actually, the bus depot is right here. I have to clean my work area so I can move it to my work area. But it's needed a little bit of work, and I've had to remove. I had my little lights in here that lit it up. I've had to remove them all. So a lot of stuff that we were storing in that room needed storage, and we shoved it under the table here, and it caught some wires and ripped some wires and shorted out the lights. So I need to redo the lights. But while I'm at it, what I'm going to do is, I don't know how easily I can pull this out from underneath. I am going to, there it is. These are 4.5 volt lights that I put in here, little micro fairy lights. Right here you can see the new ones I'm going to be putting in. And I'm going to connect them to a 4.5 volt USB. And then I will have a USB strip down here. And I'm also going to have the USB is going to be powered to on-off switch. So when I want to turn all my station lights on, I hit the switch. And when I want to turn it off, I hit the switch again. So I'm going to have a little on-off switch on the wall right here, on the siding here. And that way I can just turn the lights on, turn the lights off, and should be good to go. So I just have to rewire this. These wires are to the sign boards. And they have different color tape to match them with their appropriate lines underneath the table. So I'm going to do some soldering and then get new lights back in this. So we'll come back when I'm done with that. All right, so what I do is I take these micro fairy lights, and these are designed that you can cut them down to any length. And I have soldered them to extension wire. I cut them off from the battery powered supply thing, and I wire them to a USB. The battery is a 4.5 volt system, so the USB is 3.5, and these things can work on 3.5 to 4.5, so we're good. And it's been tested, but I have this really long one because it has to go in over there, in over there, and then under and to where I'm going to have my USB plugs, because almost all of this is on USB. The only thing that's not is the interior Delmenhorst station lights, because those are 12 volt. But the platforms are already USB, and they work. The tower lights, which will be the next job, some of these have burned out, and actually I shouldn't say they burned out. I broke them. But that's a different story for a different video. But we're going to get this guy lit up. We've tested everything. But yeah, just figured if you wanted to know what I do. These are the cheapest way to light things up. And then I have these little gutters here. And yes, that's old glue from the previous set of lights. And I'm just melting it as I go along. And I put them in. The hot glue gun holds them. And when you tip it over, the little curvature hides the ugly work. You don't see it. So yeah, so let me finish getting this all the way around, so it's just one strand up to here. I hide the lights in I hide the wires in a downspout right here. So yeah, back to work. So there we go. I'm not done yet. I've got 3 of these platform post lamps are out, but everything is now lit up full again. So there you can see, and if you see in the middle there, that's the little Delmenhorst bus things. I've got to reprogram them. But otherwise, the light show is back on this side. Now can I get the light show back on? The only other place I had lights, but I've still got to finish working the Fowler car on the road there, which is in the dark right now. And then, yeah, we have, I will start rearranging these buildings to form the basic design I want Delmenhorst to have, and we'll go from there. And I'm telling you all this, I'm pointing in the dark, so, oh well, I'm just happy that the light's back on. It's been a few months or more since I've had it all lit up on this side, so that's cool. Obviously, none of the buildings over here are lit up, but they will be. which I'll talk about later. On this dark side, I did have a couple of areas lit up. Unfortunately, I had to rip out the wires when I did some work, and I'm going to maybe work on that tomorrow, just for the hell of it, and get some lights going back there on the battery packs. But for now, this is all wired. It's all USB except the lower level there, because those lights are 12 volt. But everything else is looking good. So there we go.
So I'm very happy with it. Again, for me, it's a big step forward again. 2 step forwards, 1 step back. But having that bus station all lit up again, and having the bus and train schedule signs working, and having the entire station lit up again. 3 of the post lights are not working. I managed to get, because last week only 2 of them were working. I managed to get 3 of them working, just jiggling some things. But I'm probably going to have to take them all out, because I did join the wires together and then ran them on one feed. And the way I broke those lights was that when I put them in, I put them in 90 degrees the wrong way. And so I went to twist them. I mean, the lights are adjustable on the post, but when I glued those bases in, I sealed the wires with her, because when I twisted them just that little 90 degrees, pop, and the light was dead. Oops. And then gradually a couple of the lights stopped working, but I've got 5 of the 8 lights working, let's see, 5 of the 8, because 3 are not working. So that's cool. Anyhow, I kind of showed you what I like to do. I like to do cheap lighting. I just don't want to invest in a heavy scale lighting system. And there are wonderful ones out there: Wiesmann, Fowler, Uhlenbrock, Walters, and so forth. All make these easy light, easy this, easy that. And a lot of people put a lot of amazing and excellent work into their lighting, but I like to keep it simple. I'm lazy. I don't want to put all that extra effort in. But what I do is I go out and buy what in the UK they call fairy lights, the micro LEDs. Okay, you have LEDs, and I think in the UK they call the little Christmas lights, they call those fairy lights as well, but these are the micro ones, little dots. And you can get 50, 60 foot or more for under $10. I mean, the set I was using, I paid $8 for 35 yards. And it did a lot of lighting. And I also had lit up a bunch of houses on the one side of my Bremen thing, and I'm going to go work on that. Not now, because, well, I've got that 00 gauge layout underneath, and I'd have to pull that completely out of the way to get in there. But I do want to kind of work on reestablishing at least a little bit of lights I had on that Bremen side for now, because it'll be a while before I work on it. But anyhow, so again, if you're not too fussy about your lighting, you can run these strings, and they're spaced enough apart on the lines. You can put one in each room. If you want a room to stay dark, you can just tape over with black tape over one of the lights you don't want using. And you can even string up a whole block. You just, tape over the ones that are going underneath the foundations or underneath your table up into the next building. And it's a real cheap way to get effective lighting in. It's a very inexpensive way to do it. And you can even change the color of the lights with markers. I did that when I built that little bit for the Find Artie 2000 subscriber special early last year or whenever it was. And I made the little red light. I just had a couple of basic lights, battery powered lights, and I took a red marker and made the little red light business. And it's so inexpensive that way. So you can change tones even in a house. Okay, I'll make one of these a little orange. I'll make one of these a little... And then if you do know a little bit and you think they're too bright, you can add resistors and tone them down. But the one thing I will warn you about is if you do it, carefully look and make sure that they are 2-line. You know, if you get ones that do all sorts of fancy things, you know, blink, and they'll usually have a third line between the bulbs. And if you get the 2 lines, you could cut to length and fit exactly what you want. You can, well, I need a 2-foot section of these lights here, and then if you decide you want to go to another building, you just solder on additional wiring, so you're not wasting bulbs going underneath if you want to put that effort in. Otherwise, like I said, just tape up the bulbs. And you can light up a row of buildings and different rooms in a building very easily. And then all I'm going to do is eventually I am going to run some stop buttons here, off-on buttons here, and I will just have a plug-in bank, because most of these are USB. I'm just going to have a USB powered up here with an on-off switch, and on, off. I want to light it up, boom, I hit 1 button or 2 buttons, and bam, it all lights up. Since I do have a couple of things on 12 volt. So just make sure they have 2 lines, not 3. You know, they, like where I buy them, they come in a tube, or you can get them on cardboard wraps, and you just see, do they have 2 lines running to each bulb or 3? If they have 3, you can only use the end and go backwards. But again, you cut it to length, and then you just solder on your power supply. Again, check it. A lot of these are 1.5 to 4.5 volts, so you can put them into a USB adapter and plug them into a USB strip, and you can have all these lights on one USB strip. So yeah, it's a great budget way to do it. I did a video about it a long time ago when I first lit up the station and talked about it, but it was nice to see it lit up again. So I want to thank those of you who watched this video and continue to support the channel. You guys are awesome. This is why we keep coming on, is to hear from you people. I say we because Joyce is part of the team. So until next time, I'm going to say Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care, everybody.